Hi, my name is Joseph Parker, WBO champion of the world, and you're watching Sporting Icons.
Now, myself, along with a lot of you, have always felt that the Tyson Fury-Francis Ngannou fight was always the plan. It was never the plan to fight Oleksandr Usyk back in April. It was never the plan to fight an Anthony Joshua. Never even the plan to fight anybody in the top 15 of the WBC. These fellas who have been fighting each other to get ranked in the top 15 on WBC. They've been paying their sanction fees. They've been paying to be VADA tested to be part of the WBC clean boxing program so they can be ranked. But they're not allowed to get a world title shot because Tyson Fury is off gallivanting, having an exhibition bout against a guy who's never once had a boxing bout in his life. So his pro debut will be against a WBC world heavyweight champion. Okay. But of course, thinking it and saying it, that's one thing. But how do you prove it? What evidence is there? Well, I didn't realise that. I actually had it on my phone the whole time and didn't realise until today. So, on the 26th of February, Tyson Fury is in Saudi Arabia. He's there to support his brother Tommy take on Jake Paul. Okay? Of course, he was there fight week and whatever else. But on that particular day, happened to be the day that the fight took place between Tommy and Jake. Tommy, of course, got the decision on that one after getting dropped, all that kind of good stuff. But a few hours before the fight, Tyson Fury, for about 30 minutes only, put out a social media post on Instagram, then quickly deleted it. But I happened to be on social media at that time on Instagram, and it popped up on my timeline. I took a screenshot of it because I saw it as well. Maybe Tyson Fury is actually going to be leaving Frank Warren and signing up with Skill Challenge and all that kind of stuff. Okay? Some of you will remember that video. But upon looking at it again, I think it's just pointed us in the obvious that this was always going to happen with Francis Ngannou. So Tyson Fury, he puts out a Instagram post and he says this: some absolutely groundbreaking news coming out of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Game changing. I want to personally thank the Crown Prince, His Royal Highness Mohammed bin Salman, and my father, John Fury. So there you have it. Now, for those of you who don't get it automatically, well, I will explain it. And if you still don't get it, it's probably because you don't want to. But firstly, game changing. But what's his whole slogan? What's his whole tag that Frank Warren's been going on about? The announcement for Tyson Fury is going to be game changing. Well, Tyson Fury told you this on the 26th of February. Something's going to be game changing, right? Frank Warren can't stop himself shoulder rolling when he's coming out with the whole game changing thing, right? Now, him thanking the Crown Prince, Mohammed bin Salman. Now, he is the president of Saudi Arabia, and he's the 7th son of the current king of Saudi Arabia. Now, just to put it into context here real quick, Prince Khalid is the brother of Mohammed bin Salman. He's the 9th son of the king. Prince Khalid runs Skill Challenge, which is where Oleksandr Usyk is, which is where Anthony Joshua's fought before and whatever else, okay? But Prince Mohammed bin Salman is the one who runs Riyadh season, not Skill Challenge. Riyadh season. Where's Tyson Fury, Francis Ngannou? Riyadh season is kicking it off in October. Riyadh season, if I remember rightly, is from October, end of October, until March. They do like festivals, all that kind of stuff, entertainment, and this fight, this exhibition, is one of them. So that will tell you that Tyson Fury, who was about to make some groundbreaking news from Saudi Arabia, will tell you he was always going to be fighting Francis Ngannou. He was always going to be fighting with Riyadh season. It was always going to be happening. And the fact that he's saying game changing is what? He was always going to be fighting Francis Ngannou in Riyadh season in Saudi Arabia. So when Frank Warren is talking about how Oleksandr Usyk, when he signed up with Skill Challenge, that proves that Oleksandr Usyk was always about the money. He always wanted to fight in Saudi Arabia to get the money. Well, Tyson Fury, in February, had already made that decision that he wanted that Saudi money and had already agreed to get that Saudi money. Right in the middle of negotiations with Oleksandr Usyk. Because remember, Team Oleksandr Usyk pulled out of the negotiations finally on the 22nd of March. Why? Because Tyson Fury was playing hardball. Hardball. Offering Oleksandr Usyk 70-30 split. So Usyk gets 30%. The unified heavyweight world champion gets 30%. Usyk accepts that 30% on the condition, though, if I beat you, then in the rematch, I get 70-30. Also, you give £1 million donation to the charity of Ukraine. Now remember, Tyson Fury said that if the UK ever got involved in this whole conflict with Ukraine and whatever, then him and his father will be signing up front line. Well, the UK are involved. Are they not supplying ammunition and everything over there? Are they not? So where's Tyson Fury and his father? Are they up there on the front line? No, they're not. But what he could have done was donated £1 million as per part of the deal. Considering the amount of money that was on the table, that was pittance, right? But apparently he refused that, again, according to Alexander Krasuk. All right. So on top of that as well, Tyson Fury was mocking Oleksandr Usyk's team, his management team, for accepting 30%. You guys are going to be the worst management team in boxing, in the history of boxing, for getting your man to accept 30%, blah, blah, blah. In other words, he was in damage control. He was like, oh, crap, what I don't want to do is fight this guy. I want to try and belittle them to try and walk away from this deal because I want to fight Usyk in case I lose, because if I lose, then this big money for this huge amount of money for this low-risk fight against Francis Ngannou ain't going to happen. So I need to make them to walk away. That's what I can come up with. Can you come up with anything better? The negotiations with Anthony Joshua, again, it's all a ruse to make it look like he wants to do something else. But really, he's been working on this fight all the time. So Anthony Joshua saying no, jog on. Fury probably knew that. He probably knew that. And even if he didn't, he was probably going to pull the plug on it anyway, like he has done on previous occasions. But thankfully, as far as Tyson Fury is concerned, Anthony Joshua was like, you messed me about so many times before, he's going to mess me about again. I've got my own plans. I'm not going to sit here week after week after week, putting my plans on hold in the hope of fighting you for you to pull the plug again. I ain't going to waste my time with you. So this whole thing was always about Francis Ngannou. He was always going to be fighting in Riyadh season. Game changing, right? Game changing. If anybody can't see it, then I don't know what else to tell you. I don't know what else to tell you. This has been the plan since the 26th of February. And I always had the smoking gun. I just didn't know it. Anyone need any extra help? Drop it in the comment section. Catch you next video.